What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. Today's guests are a current and former service members of the Crystal Lounge. One of them is a cocktail waitress, bartender, casino attendant. She does it all over there. And the other is a former door guy. And together we are part of our newly founded Sunday Funday crew. We have a few beverages on this episode, so things might get a little loosey-goosey. We tell some fun and interesting stories from the Crystal Lounge, as well as dive into a little bit of controversy going on in the Billings bar scene right at this moment. So let's see how all this goes as we take down a little liquid courage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Sara Stewart and Andrew Barlow. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers all around.
Of course.
Of course. So, just to start this thing off, we've all been day drinking, so this might go off the rails really fucking fast. But we have some
Juicy gossip.
Some juicy local gossip.
Tea to spill.
And it is it's an ongoing deal. So hopefully by the time this comes out, it's still relevant, and I imagine it will
be prosecuted.
Sara, I'm going to go ahead and let you. You're the expert on what's going on right now, and I am going to let you start. Let's start out. Give us the background of what's been going on, and then we will dive in deeper.
Okay, so I'm a bartender. I met a girl's parents yesterday, whose daughter was missing. She just turned 17. She's missing since Friday night. This is Sunday, so she was found today. So most of the weekend she was gone, right? Well, they found some photos and all this nonsense about her being at Bullwhackers bar in Billings, Montana. And so these two men that were like 40 years old are coming up to her. Like, keep in mind, this girl is 17 years old. Fake ID that said she was 18. And they're serving her fake shots. Okay. These men are feeling her up, kissing on her. She's pushing them away. Whatever. Going back and forth. Teenage girls are dumb. Like, we're all dumb when we're teenagers. But the adults are responsible for this. And so Bullwhackers doubles down and they're like, no. Everyone's accusing us of doing this horrible shit. And they post security footage of them fake serving an 18-year-old wasted chick with two fucking 40-year-old men that are feeling her up. And then they're like, no, that's not enough. Not the inside bar footage of them fake serving her. No, they have to show the outside footage of two grown-ass women saying, that's not cool, that's not right. And calling the dudes out. And the bartender out. The bartender calls his boss and then closes one of the chicks out, like the only one with the tab. It's like, oh, we comped your drink. You have a good night. So basically, to get rid of her. By the way, these women called the police 4 times because they thought this girl was in danger before she went missing for 2 days.
So where was she?
No, who knows? They posted that she was safe and they're trying to prosecute the men that were involved and indict the bar. So God knows what happened to that poor girl.
Well, and you said something interesting earlier. Somebody said something of the I don't remember exactly who it was that said it, but something about...
Oh,
yes.
One of the women that called it in. So all this stuff is coming out. If you look up Bullwhackers, billiards and lounge, whatever it is, Billings, Montana Facebook, it's blowing up right now. It's gossipy as shit. It's so much fun, and also criticize the fuck out of this bar. It's horrible. But the person that called it in, heard them say, yeah, we can rape her and sell her.
Yes, that's right. That's what you said.
Yep. So that's cool. No, it's fine. I also got a bottle thrown at me during your last show there.
Yep.
Cutthroat's too good for bullwhackers, by the way. Yeah, you're trash bullwhackers.
Sarah is on one today. And to be fair, I do not blame you.
No.
In the least.
No.
Well, and it doesn't surprise me about the cops, because my buddy was following his drunk wife around town one night. I think you were out that night. But she was upset, telling him to get away from her. In the middle of the street, screaming at her. 2 cops looked at him, turned around, just walked off. They didn't know they were married, didn't know who this dude was, anything like that, and just walked away.
Oh, dude, they don't give, like, I mean, like,
Yeah,
honestly, unless you, we work at a bar, I work at a bar in a busy section of Billings. How many times have I tried to flag a cop down, they didn't show up? I do love some of the police there. I'm not talking shit on the entire police department. You know who you are, you're awesome. But those other guys that just drive by, don't acknowledge anything, and she just turned 17. 17-year-old girl, that's a kid.
Well, that's not legal age for anything.
No.
Anything.
No. And you can't tell a fake. Like,
that's your job as a
bartender,
door guy or a bartender.
Fake server. They said the shots were water and grenadine.
Well, if that's the case, why are you comping drinks?
Yeah. Oh, no, they charged them for them.
Right.
They did.
Well, they had to charge for the roofies. You know, roofies aren't free.
True.
Either way, you shouldn't be, like, letting a minor in, much less an intoxicated minor. If she was intoxicated before she showed up, why are you letting an intoxicated person into your bar anyway?
Like, okay, how many of us have been stupid teenagers who did something dumb, tried to act older than we were, tried to prove that we can do other things, and like try to seek attention? Cool. You know what that girl did was not right either, but she's a kid.
Sure.
Those adults are the ones that are responsible. Not only the predators, but the bartender that sat by and watched it all happen and was like, oh, let's just see how it plays out.
Well,
and kicks out the people defending
every other
her.
adult that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Just bystanders.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
boycott bullwhackers.
And as a bartender or as anything, bar manager, if you're running a bar establishment, a place that serves alcohol, you're supposed to ID. And if you see an ID that's underage or fake or whatever it is, you're supposed to be able to see that and
well, and that's all part of it. Like, by
you
law,
were
it's
a
your
door guy.
responsibility.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
liability.
your
responsibility.
Liability, bitch.
Liability. You know, as a door guy, your job is to keep everyone safe and not get the bar sued. Now, yes, the keep everyone safe comes before getting the bar sued, but still legally, like, that's your job to spot fakes. If someone even looks a little bit drunk, whether they are or not, it's your call. You can't let those people in.
Actually, apparently, or seems to be intoxicated, we don't let you in.
Yeah.
This girl is... Like, are you kidding me? Like, and her parents, I got to talk to her parents, and her parents were worried sick. Nothing will turn your stomach quicker than seeing worried parents talk about their daughter and say, I don't even want, like, if she gets home safe, like, that's all we care about. Like,
right. Well, and when you have some guy saying something about we rape them, we sell them, like, that's straight up sex trafficking shit.
And in the comments of bullwhackers, they're saying all this sketchy shit about how it's human trafficking, which has been picking up in Billings, Montana so fucking hard. Like, it's insane that, like, I'm sorry, like, they called the cops 4 times, and I'm sure the police are embarrassed because they were probably like, oh, it's probably not a big deal, they're at a bar, they're drinking, they're probably over-concerned, whatever. This is the time for the cops to show up and be like, hey, we made a mistake, we should have shown up, but guess what, we're gonna defend her now. Arrest that piece of shit. Like, not kill him. That's all.
Yeah, because
like, that's me. That's just me.
I mean, it just shows complacency on the cop side, just assuming, oh yeah, it's probably nothing. That's not their job to assume that it's not nothing. It's your job to investigate that. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's fine if you make a mistake. They should at least defend her now. Mm-hmm. You know, do your job now.
Well, and from what you said, it sounds like they are looking to prosecute.
Yeah.
Which means there was probably some pretty shady shit that ended up going on.
Well, I mean, like, okay, the girl disappears for 2 days. I mean, like, we've all been teenagers. We disappear once in a while, but, like... they said they were a tightly knit family, and also, by the way, they are staying at the homeless shelter. They're not homeless. They just moved here. They're in hard times. They were very well dressed. They were very nice when they came in, And the girl was very well dressed too in the videos that Bullwhackers posted. But
And the videos that they posted, it was
incriminated him more.
Yeah.
So like they were just like, the bartender calls the manager instead of trying to intervene and be like, hey, like the women were like, asked her name. She said her real name.
yeah.
And then they asked the name and like to the guys, and she said the one on the fake ID. She was so wasted she couldn't keep her story straight either. And they called it out and they were just like, no. And I would have done the same thing, but I wouldn't have left like either. Like I would have been like, no, not until a police officer shows up or something like that. No, hell no. I have done, like, as a bartender, I've written notes on the back of someone's bar tab and slipped it to them. Like, are you okay? And to check yes and no box. Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel safe? Like, that is my job.
Yeah. To
Are
keep
you
an eye out
safe?
for.
I don't care. Like, even if you're over intoxicated, you know what? Then I fucked up my job, but I'm going to still make sure you are safe and you're going to get home safe. I'll call you a cab. I don't give a shit. I'll pay out of my own pocket if I mess up.
I mean, if you're a good bartender or a good server, yeah, that's what you do. You recognize when things are going in a direction that they shouldn't be going in.
Yeah, 100%. Like, just take accountability, dude, for your own actions. You know what? So what, you messed up? Oh, she was 18. You thought it was funny to serve her water and grenadine with 40-year-old men that are pawing at her and kissing at her as she's pushing them away? Cool, that's a weird sense of humor. But at what point does your conscience not kick in and just be like, holy shit, I'm an animal and I should probably take care of this before it becomes like a lawsuit, which it should.
It probably will be.
I hope.
And actually so I'm curious because I used to bartend. It's been a long time. I've been out of the game for a while. And you all probably know better than I do. What would the liability be on the bar and the bartender?
All of it.
I think that even like what I said earlier was fake serving a minor. There's a thing of psychological phenomenon, think drink effect. People think they're drinking. You could serve me a Bud Zero in this, and I would be like, holy shit, I'm getting a little more drunk.
Right.
A teenager.
The placebo effect.
Yeah, exactly. Think drink. Yep, 100%. They're even like, but that girl was not think drinking. She was
drunk coming
hammered.
into
Well,
it.
and that's
good.
because there's no way to prove that they were only serving her water and grenadine.
No.
They
Right.
could've
No,
absolutely
they-
been serving her something else. So even in court, they're going to see those videos,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to go, well, how can you prove it was just water and grenadine?
Mm-hmm.
They can't. That's their liability there. Hell, they should have never let her in the damn door, even with an ID that said 18. Like, that right there is a liability.
Mm-hmm. And as far as I know, every time I've ever been there, whether it's an event or whether it's just
drama.
you're not, well, yes, for sure, but 21 and up. It's 21 and up, no matter what.
So
Well,
Nick looked it up, and I don't know if this is true, but you can be 18 and be allowed in a bar, is what he said.
I thought it was only if they served food.
Or in a casino.
No, that's under 18 if they serve a certain amount of food.
But
or something.
he
Right.
said it's up to the bar to, like, which I don't know if it's true. Either way, a responsible bar would not fucking do that.
Well,
no,
a lot of it comes down to the door guys, because I've seen some shitty door guys in this town.
Yeah.
I mean, you've worked with some shit.
Oh, God.
That's why I started being a door guy. And there's guys
Here's
that become
less.
door guys that are literally just there to stare at women and do shady shit.
Yep.
They don't care who they
I've
let
seen
in
a
there.
door guy just straight up make out with drunk chicks. Like,
Yeah, like they're there like it's a dating website, and that's not okay.
Right.
And it's like I said, half the door guys I've seen in this town are just terrible door guys.
it's just, it's one of those things.
That's what you
that's
hire
just,
people to do.
like, no pride in the work, nothing. Like, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry, sometimes I hate bartending. I'll admit it 100% because I deal with some bullshit. But the other half, I'm like, dude, I love seeing people get drunk, get happy, get married, do all this crazy shit. Bachelorette parties can be fun most of the time. But like, but it's fun to watch people have fun and do it. And that's my job, is to make sure you have fun and you get home safe.
Responsible.
And
yeah.
like, dude, you can hate me all you want. I will be the fucking target. Like, that's fine. But all I'm doing is looking out for you. And guess what? Most bartenders should. And most bartenders I know are better people than that.
It's not your job. Well, you got to toe the line, I suppose, as a bartender, to be the friend of the person, but also to make sure that, like, you got to still be, like, kind of a parent to them, where it's
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
be responsible. I'm looking out for you. Hate me if you want, I'm cutting you off because you're clearly over the limit.
Yep.
And it's my job to make sure you get home safe.
Most 21st birthday parties, I give them bottled water right when they walk in. I'm like, you're going to curl up with this, and in the morning, you're going to thank me when you wake up next to it. Like, dude, like...
And that's the game. You got to play the fun person, but also the responsible person, which sucks, especially if they're not tipping you.
Yeah.
Yeah, people suck sometimes.
Speaking
We
of...
live on it.
Speaking of having too good of a time...
Walter.
Well, I figured I'd transition this real quick into I had a little bit of an episode recently where so anybody who listens to the show knows that I'm a big fan of sports, and recently my Avalanche lost in the playoffs, and then 2 days later my Nuggets lost in the playoffs. So I took that pretty hard.
He lost his Nuggets.
And rather than
the Stars, right?
The Avs lost to the Stars. And the Nuggets lost to the Timberwolves, which was devastating. We were up by 20 points. We should have won that game. And, yeah, I might have gone a little bit over the edge.
Have you ever seen someone karate chop a full BPR fully off a bar? Amazing.
I'm just going to let Sarah explain. Well, so I went to Hooligans before this, and
We were playing poker, right?
I'm not. Yes, we were.
Okay.
And I'm not going to blame Sarah for this, but... she did, in fact, get this started. We had at least 3 shots. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We had 3 shots between 3 and 5. Plus, I probably had like 4 beers before I went to Hooligans. Went to Hooligans, drank a full bucket of beer. And then by the end, there is a difference between happy drunk and upset, sad drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Your mood can go a complete different direction.
Oh, dude, I get there. Everyone gets there.
Of course.
Also, it was not just a bucket of beer because you went to the Crystal Lounge afterwards. How dare you blame me for 3 shots?
I wasn't there yet. I'm saying by the time I got to my sad and depressed state of drunk, we had 3 shots that you might have goaded me into having a couple of those.
Okay, whatever. We got a lot. Hey, that was our closest bonding moment we've ever had since we knew each other. I gave him a forehead kiss.
Well, wait. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. And yes, I agree with what you said. But so at this point, I'm probably 9 or 10 beers deep, 3 or 4 shots deep. I'm pretty tuned up. Thankfully, I was responsible enough to give up my keys, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm going balls to the wall, shots, drinks, whatever. I catch an Uber to
the
45, and I'll let Sarah go ahead and take it from here, because it gets a little hazy to me.
I don't remember.
I don't remember a lot. I don't think you've heard this story yet.
I will give it to you at the end of the show. So, I am dating his cousin, Aaron Craig. Mm-hmm. And so we're at the 45 and we just went grocery shopping and and Aaron's like, oh, we can have 1 drink at the 45. We're only going to be there for a minute. We can leave the groceries in the cart. No. So Dakota walks in and he walks in and I'm like, oh no. And I immediately went to go smoke and I called Derek, who works with us, who's supposed to be on the podcast today, but you know what?
Bitched out.
Good on you, Barlow.
Hey,
and
shit.
Fuck you, Derek Pettis, you gay piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding. He is gay, but we love him dearly. It's not like whatever. We love him. But so I'm like, what the hell did you guys serve Dakota to make him like this? They're like, oh, I don't know. He gave away his keys. I'm like, okay, he didn't drive. That's good. And he comes in the bar and he's like, shots. And he is wiping his face with a bar rag. That was one thing. That was a definite tell.
I was spilling beer all over myself.
For future bartenders, these are tells that tell you shouldn't serve anyone anymore. But you know what? The bartender was a good sport because we love Dakota, and also he was not driving and he was having a rough night.
Sarah was defending me. She was like, he doesn't get this drunk.
And he's not driving. We got him. We're fine. And then,
not my brightest moment.
He orders a shot. And so he told me to make one up. And I called it the Ginger Bastard. It was disgusting. It was so bad. But it was like Jameson orange and triple second orange juice. It was fucking awful. But And
good you don't remember
Dakota's
that.
just screaming. I have the video, and he's just like, "Where's my goddamn drink?" And I'm like, Dakota, you ordered like shots for the entire bar. You're gonna have to wait a second. And he's not having a good time with that. But then at one point, like, I was secretly filming him
Several times.
a
Hell
lot. And I'm like, I'm gonna use this.
I've seen these videos, and I some of them are kind of funny, and some of them are like, hey, even in my drunk state, I agree with myself.
Yeah.
But even nonetheless, I was like, you have to turn this off. I cannot watch this anymore. They were very embarrassing.
I mean, we all have them.
And Sarah said at one point I started crying, and yes, she consoled me.
Yeah. For her kiss. I mean, I think we've given a half hug. That was like the first time I give you a full hug and a kiss you on the forehead. I'm like, there's always next year. And you're like, that's next year. And I'm like,
But you were,
okay, fair.
I remember you saying to me, well, I don't remember this personally. I remember you retelling me this. But you said something along the lines, I was like, I deserve to be bad. And you're like, yes, you do. Or no, sad. I deserve to be sad.
You said, this is my moment. I deserve this. I get one night. I get one night. I called into work. I get to be pissed off and sad. And I was like, yes, you do. You feel those emotions, Dakota. And you were like, thank you. Like, that's when you started cheering up. You're like,
Everyone
thank you for
just needs to be
recognizing my
validated
emotions.
sometimes, you know?
Like, it was just a man being validated.
Yeah.
Made him cheer up. And I'm like, Dakota, to give him a kiss on the forehead. I'm like, it's okay. There's a new... And that's when I put New Day on the letters on your fridge.
Well, that's, as a man, you don't get a whole lot of validation for feelings.
No!
Even if they are something like your sports team. It doesn't matter, you know, yeah.
Be
And
sad.
there-
Be sad.
There
Do
is a
it.
point when I'm like, do I feel embarrassed for being upset when my sports team
No.
loses? But it's like, that's something I enjoy. That's something that
Something that's important to you.
And I dedicate a lot of time to it.
Dude,
Like,
and you're at the end of the season. Like, you guys were so close
I
on
know.
both
Yeah.
ends.
it's heartbreaking. But it's a one night thing. The next day, yeah, I suffered for it, and then I had to come to the realization, and it's over.
I
You
invited
move on.
you for
You move-
meatloaf, and you said no.
Oh,
got that.
I wanted to.
Are you getting meatloaf?
I need
Damn, now I want
meatloaf, yeah.
meatloaf.
I wanted to stay home and just sulk and recover, really, because I was definitely dead to the world.
Oh, dude, that milk tasted so weird the next day because it was in the like our-
Milk? Say, how'd your groceries end up?
Like everything was fine. The milk tasted a little off. It was in the car for like probably 2 hours at that point, and then we went through the Taco
not
Bell
have drank
drive-through for Dakota. It took about half an hour through that, and he was so oddly sweet. Like he would like scream at the people in the drive-through, like hurry the fuck up, and then like. He got up to the drive-thru and he's like, "Thank you so much. Like, thank you. You're like, I really appreciate you."
I don't know who that guy yelling at you was.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently,
Like,
I kept.
Dakota, oh my God.
I kept trying to convince Sarah to get something to eat. I was like, "You have to get something."
I can't eat Taco Bell anymore, dude. I can't do it. Too
I
many
don't
Taco
blame
Bell
you.
days.
That's my go-to drunk meal.
I'm
But,
like,
I mean,
I texted
that whole
Aaron.
cantina chicken stuff is pretty badass.
No, I had a
The
bite of that.
avocado salsa.
So I've
have you
heard.
tried that?
I have not.
Oh,
I have
dude,
not.
it's good.
I
Yeah.
always end up going to my go-to, which is just
Rosie
like
said she'd suck it off Chris's dick. That's a shout out to
believe it.
Rosie Dement of the Crystal Lounge.
I'll believe it.
You.
I'd suck it off Chris's dick.
Oh God, desperate.
I
Shout out to
thought
Chris.
you're doing a great job as posing in for Derek, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Derek would be cackling so loud we couldn't hear him. Anything else?
So you said it was 30 minutes in the Taco Bell drive-thru. I thought it was 5.
Well, yeah.
Oh no,
that's
it
what
was 30. I timed it because I texted Aaron when he got in there because you were like, "No, Sarah, everyone's getting Taco Bell. I'm buying. Like, I want us all to get." And you were trying to be nice and sweet, and I'm like, I already told you, I'm like, I can't get Taco Bell. And so I texted Aaron. I was like, order things for yourself, but pretend some of it's for me.
And what did he get?
One burrito.
It's half your burrito.
Like with extra beans and extra onions, dude. Aaron Craig farts more than anyone. Oh, except for this guy on a keto diet. By the way, one time, Dakota, yeah, I'll throw this on your podcast. One time, Aaron and his cousin Aaron is notorious for farting everywhere. And one time they both walk into our bar and like a stench. Like I was walking behind him.
It was bad.
Follows. people left the bar. Like 3
Chris
people
was
left.
spraying
And
Febreze.
we are like spraying Lysol and shit, trying to get rid of the smell. Everyone yelled at Aaron. I sprayed Lysol on Aaron's ass. It was me that was spraying it. I sprayed it
So
on
that's
Aaron's
the
ass.
smell
His
in the
cousin.
crystal. It's
Yeah.
y'all too.
No. It was Dakota, and Dakota played it off so well. He was like, oh, no, what's happening? I'm just eating meat and fucking nothing else.
That'll do it.
And then 30 minutes later, I leaned into Aaron and I go,
I did it.
it was me.
Yeah. Aaron's like,
It was you
obviously it was you. I know when I
He goes, I know it wasn't me.
Yeah, we tortured the fuck out of him for that part.
That was a while. That was like 4 years ago. 3 years ago.
Mm.
Anyway, now that we've gotten my embarrassing drunk story out of the way.
Can we talk about Walter?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, well,
how do we start with Walter?
let's start with Walter. Because
There's a
my,
few things.
because you've both worked at the Crystal and you're a regular there now. So you both know everybody that works there.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a great opportunity since I've gotten my embarrassing moment out of the way. Let's talk about everybody at the Crystal.
Okay.
I'm going to name somebody, some random person at the Crystal. I want both of you to tell me a funny or embarrassing story about this person. The first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and start with Walter.
Okay, so,
Insert photo here.
yeah, this is when Walter oddly wanted. By the way, Walter has a hot ass fiance. Her name is Morgan. Hey there, boo.
Also
I don't
works
know
at
how
the Crystal.
I don't know. He got her in bed more than once. They have 2 kids. I don't get it. I don't think they're
At
his.
least twice.
But Walter has been a bartender. I started coming about a decade ago, and he was always like kind of the weirdo and big old fat fuck. And I love you. And but so Walter and I are very close. We're like pretty much best friends. Like 100%. I'm gonna be the best man at his wedding. And so a couple years ago, we weren't each other's Secret Santas for work, but we decided to do something special for each other, like as a secret gift. So Walter does his thing. He likes like little pocket watches is what they're called.
Okay.
So I was gonna put his initials on the front of it, like, you know, engraved, and then put father, friend, stupid bitch, because we call it either like stupid bitch or dumb
Cunt.
C words. Yep, cunts. Yep.
We're all
I didn't know
adults here.
what we could say. So I was like, okay, I can't do that. That's kind of like too much for a pocket watch. So I said family, father, friend, or like a friend. I don't know, whatever. And then I put a little like thing so you could put a picture of his family. It was this cute little pocket watch. Well, then I had to double down. So I got him a box that said, Merry Christmas, you stupid bitch. And then you're pretty good for a shitty bartender keepsake box to keep it all in. And Walter went up me by like probably $200 or $300 by giving me a canvas that is almost as big as this couch.
Oh, yes.
And Dakota will show the picture that was on it.
Right here.
And it is like yay big. And also, by the way, he got his nipples pierced on a bet that I made with my ex-boy. It was just, we have a complex relationship. But, yeah, Walter wins.
He basically went full George Costanza.
Yeah, but like, yeah. Oh no, but the fun part is, when they were trying to take the photo, Morgan, his fiance, a hot ass bitch.
She took the photo?
She took the photo. And at one point, the toddler, their kid ran past the fucking photo, so it was just fucking Elijah streaking past.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, yep.
Okay, so do you...
Oh, man, Walter. About the best thing I remember, or I've been through as Walter, was the night that me and Derek were running around saying no balls all the time. The whole, me sticking the broom in the roof.
Oh my
Yep, I guess I'm going to talk about that.
We have to send photos to him,
We
too.
do. Yeah, you got to see the pictures.
Okay,
it was great.
alright.
We were all sweeping, me, Walter, and Derek outside.
We were
Somehow,
drunk as shit. No,
we
me
were
too.
drunk as... Oh, yeah, you were.
We
out
had
there.
a swamp.
Yeah, we were drunk as shit.
The
Had
swamper
to
was
swamp.
out, so we had to clean the whole building.
Yeah, somehow Derek broke a broom. I don't even remember how I got it in my hands. And somebody said something about throwing it on the roof. I was like, oh, I'll throw it on the roof. And Derek looks at me and goes, no balls. And I was like, bet. Slung it. It speared into the side of the roof. And we're all just sitting there staring at it. And then Chris comes outside. And Chris is talking to us. And we're all looking at Chris and then looking at the broom. And
I
then
had
looking
the
at Chris.
handle tied in my apron behind my back.
Somehow-
We're like,
Yeah. Somehow Walter got a ladder snuck outside and got it off the roof without other people knowing
Anybody
about
noticing?
it. Oh, it was great. It was amazing.
Is there
Like-
still a hole there?
yeah.
No, is there a hole? I
Yep.
couldn't find the hole. That's what. That's
It's
what
hard
she
to
said.
tell. It's like, ha! He said. No, that was like that. Like, okay, he says that in like 2 seconds. That was like a 20-minute ordeal.
It was. It was long.
It was rough.
Incredible. I love
And
it.
then Walter had to carry me away from a forklift at Winco one time
Okay.
because we were drunk in Winco. And
You just
They're-
you just
We
commandeered.
raced
they
to
left-
Winco.
yeah, we did race to Winco. And
I was not driving.
they left their forklift out. And Derek looks at me, he was like, no balls. And I was like, bet, I'm licensed to drive these motherfuckers.
commandeered-
And Walter had to like grab me, he was like, no.
Oh, you
That's
didn't?
great. No, Walter wouldn't let me.
What a pussy.
I also, Walter bought me a
Now
balloon.
who has no balls?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so. Walter bought me a balloon and tied it around my wrist, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
oh no, Dad, you always tie things around my wrist too tight in front of everyone at the check stands, like, and all of us are just dying laughing. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning,
Damn.
and everyone's like, what the fuck is happening right now? We're too dark.
Okay.
But guess what? We're not bullwhackers. We don't actually do this shit.
Yeah.
Shout out Bulwark.
Fuck that place.
Okay, so next in line, let's go Derek. The person who bitched
Gay
out.
as fuck. I love him. God damn, though. I love him so much, but if he brings up Twilight one more time, I will.
What's wrong with Twilight? Why are you hating on Twilight?
Okay, what are you? You're not even Edward.
I like Sparkles, bitch.
It's
You're Bella. Bella
Goddamn
at
right.
best. Bella at best. I'm gonna give
That's
you a
fine.
shirt that says that.
She seemed to get laid a lot.
you have a
I'm alright
funny
with it.
funny story that you have to have something.
Oh, I have so many stories about Derek. Let me find a good one. Okay, go to him first.
Do you have
Oh no
a
shit.
specific Derek story?
Oh, I have one.
Go for it.
Say you should have a bunch.
I would imagine so.
This dumbass tattoo I got, I don't know if you can see it. It says "hit me." Yeah. Thanks, Derek. So one day we wake up and he was dating this dude at the point, like, and our friend Sav just gotten out of a bad relationship. I just got obviously out of a bad relationship, and we were like, oh, you know, we should go to brunch and just drink and eat food. Went to the 406. There was a kitchen fire. We had 2 or 3 mimosa flights. That's full bottles of champagne between 4 of us in about half an hour.
Whew.
And Savannah had a awesome breakup letter dropped off. And so we were popcorn reading it. Like, drink, popcorn, you know, going around. So we're like, okay, we can get food here. Let's go to Tiny's. So we go to another bar. And we get orange crushes, which are super big and compact with alcohol. And, order one, like, 8-piece wing between the 4 of us. And that's when we came up with the point with, like, we should get tattooed today. We've all gone through shitty breakups and all this weird shit. Let's get just a shitty tattoo. We were drunk. We went outside and it is like June and it's blizzarding outside. Like full on like 2 feet of snow almost at this point. So Derek drives through all this. We go make the appointment. And they're like, no, we can't get you until 5. It's like 2. We're like, or 3, whatever. But they're like, yeah, we can't do that. And so we go to Dillard's where Derek used to work. And I don't know why, but we split a beer at like the little bar inside of the mall and shit. Like all of us did. Like we needed, and we stopped for shots on the way. Yeah, we were just bad. I don't drive, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. But,
I do.
I don't know how
According to
drive.
my mom,
yeah,
she blew me up the other day.
good.
Anyway, go ahead.
But so we show back up at the tattoo shop and we are like obliterate. Oh no! Oh, by the way, Derek's boyfriend tried to try on like pants at Dillard's, and he was wearing like, I don't know, they called them diaper pants. It was a fucking weird reaction. We had to like tear him out of the pants and get him in the car. So we get to the tattoo shop, and those guys ditch out on us. So me and Sav got tattoos, and I have a tattoo that says "hit me" because I think I'm fucking hilarious, and it started with a heart.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. And tell everyone at the bar asks you about it.
Yeah.
Don't get tattooed while drunk, kids. And don't go to bullwhackers while you
if you are a kid.
Or
if you are a kid.
If you are a kid,
Yeah.
go to the playground. Bullwhackers is not the playground.
Playground is the strip club in Great Falls.
The ultimate, like, callback is just bullwhackers this whole show. Do you have a Derek story?
I do. Him chasing a guy with a broken twisted T-ball.
Oh, yeah!
Oh,
Yeah.
yes! I've heard this.
Okay, so we're all
This is
in
great.
the parking lot drinking after work, and what was that dude's name?
Marty.
Marty. Yeah, Marty, who's a guy that wanders around, starts problems with everybody.
Uh-huh.
Comes up, starts talking all sorts of shit, and all of a sudden Walter looks at me and he's like, "Hey, behind you!" I turn around. And there's this other dude I haven't seen before,
He
like
hands me
sneaking
a
up behind
knife.
us. I hand her a knife. I go to pull mine out. All of a sudden, I look over at Derek, and he breaks a bottle on the ground. He's like, "Oh, well, fuck you up, motherfucker!" And I hear the guy behind us audibly go, "Nope," and turn around and just walk off. It was the best shit.
I will say this. As much as, like, whatever you might think of Derek based on appearance, that motherfucker will...
He will fuck
he'll
you
fuck
up.
some shit
Yes.
up.
He will fuck you
he don't
up.
give a shit.
He's-
yeah.
Have you ever seen me be like, dude, I'm not like a light, I'm not like 90 pounds. Like, but he picks me up and swings me around all the time, and I'm like, I remember how strong you are sometimes, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I fuck with you too much.
He is the baddest gay dude I've ever met.
I
Like,
know.
hell yeah.
he will fuck shit up.
Dude, he just
give
doesn't give a
fuck.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't care. Like, it's like me, like, I'm like, let's do it.
Well,
Let's fucking
and
go.
the amount of times I've heard people, like, you know, say some bullshit, you know, some disparaging shit about him being gay or whatever, and he'll turn around and be like, "What the fuck did you just say? I'll fuck you up." I'm like,
Well, and that's
I
anytime we would
Derek's
kick
story.
someone
Word.
out and they'd be walking down the street, they'll yell, "Faggot!" And Derek would come out and be like, "Yeah, so what, bitch?"
Yeah, I know. So there was one day.
No
it
chill.
was me.
Yeah.
It wasn't you. It was fuck, what's his name? Long hair. I'm so sorry.
anyway.
Anyways, one of
Mr.
our old
Longhair.
bouncers. I love him to death. I can't remember his name. I'm kind of drunk.
Jeremiah?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Me and Jeremiah, all of us are outside, and this fucking like 350-pound wasted dude comes up. I don't give a fuck about weight, but it comes into the story. So he's just sitting there and he's like trying to talk to us, and we're all actively ignoring him. It's 2 a.m. We just got off work. We're having a cigarette. Fuck off. Like, leave us alone. And he's like, so everyone goes inside, and Derek's wearing his backward pink cap. And he comes up to me and Jeremiah. He's like, "Is this one of these LBTQYZ bars?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Just doesn't seem like these guys are so manly." I'm like, "If you're talking about Derek, he's more man than you'll ever be." And I went inside and I told everyone what that guy said, like right when I walk in. Chris Nagel, who, by the way, shout out to Chris Nagel. You're the best angel ever. She's the sweetest lady you'll ever meet in your life. Comes out. We all storm out. Chris Nagel has her hand in the guy's face, like, "Who dare you?" Like, everyone's screaming the moment they walk out the bar. Walter walks out. "I don't see what me sucking dick has anything to do with this." Like, I'm like,
Hell yeah.
oh, dude.
Yeah.
And the guy was so drunk, he didn't know what was going on. It was so good. I was just like, you better fucking waddle your ass down before I roll you down the block.
All right. I'd be remiss if I didn't have to ask a funny or embarrassing story about my cousin Aaron. You should have so many.
Oh man, see, I don't know if I have any, but with Eric,
But she-
specifically.
Like,
I
he's
was
so
saying she
proud of all
should.
those embarrassing
Yeah.
moments. It's kind of hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but let's highlight a few of them.
Okay.
Or at least one of them.
Let's think.
How many
Like,
has he had on this podcast alone?
Yeah.
He's been on here a few times.
Okay, I need a minute. I do need a minute
Okay,
because he's so proud of all his moments. Like, he's a hard person to like even give shit to.
I'm trying to think of one myself.
Yeah, it's hard.
Let's put a book note in that.
Let's skip to the next person.
Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind there. Let's go ahead and I'll ask you, Andrew, right?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Sorry, I'm also drunk. How about Sarah?
Oh, I'm so mad.
Oh shit.
How about each other?
I would say most of.
I mean, the other night.
Oh man. Oh, dude. I don't know if I have any specific.
Oh, come on. There's gotta be one.
Don't. No.
There's gotta be one.
I mean, they're all kind of generalized, you know.
Don't
She
feel
does
embarrassed
her
because she's
whole-
right here.
Oh, I don't give
I'll
a
say
shit.
one first if it
I
makes
would
you
say,
more
I
comfortable.
don't give a
Once
shit.
I pirouetted in front of the Crystal Lounge, and I
Oh,
fell
I did
so
see that
hard
video. That
that
was
my
great.
knees are still scarred. About this was 2021, so like 4 or 5 years, or 2020, 5 years later.
Damn.
Yep. And my skirt flashed up. Everything is bad. It was caught on camera, and now it's on.
Yep, I've seen the video a few times.
It's on Derek's
Well-
goddamn whatchamacallit TikTok.
I need to see that video.
Oh, I was.
Since
Go
you
to
showed me all the
TikTok.
videos
That's
of
right,
me,
yeah.
myself the other day. God.
Yeah.
There's so many of me that, yeah. Anyway, so that's
I would say they're all. I mean, I don't know. It's all about the same. She gets this weird shaky thing that I find really entertaining.
Oh yeah, I get
Yeah.
shaky as fuck when
Dude,
I do that.
the other
It's funny as
night.
shit.
So I returned the favor the other night. We went to see some comedy, and they gave me the ride home on Sunday. So I had to return the favor and give them a ride home.
Love you,
And
Dakota.
and Sarah's outside just like, and this girl's like, this woman comes up. She's like, "Why are you shaking so bad?" She's like, "I'm fucking drunk." She's like,
Dude, I have a tremor,
I just
and
do
on top
this.
of it, when I
Yeah.
get drunk, I'm like, that is my tell. I used to be fine when I was like 20. I was like, or 21. I was like, oh yeah, you can't even tell when I'm wasted. Now I'm just like a chihuahua in fucking
Well-
like a cold
Fucking
desert
chihuahua.
wind.
You're also
Like, I don't know the fuck. I'm like,
you're also 40 pounds soaking wet. So
at least
if it's
120.
if there's a chill coming through, I imagine it's like. But if you add alcohol to the equation,
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I'm bad. Well, and we followed Aaron down that fucking rabbit hole during comedy.
Oh God,
The trash cans.
dude. So
if he was doing trash can that drunk, we had to.
okay, I'm gonna tell my Aaron story then, and this is just because it was recent. Aaron's sitting there. I'm like, I called him earlier that day. I was like, hey, and it was like noon. Sounded fine, you know. I always have to call Aaron during show, like day of show,
Yep.
to make sure he's sober before the show.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good about it now, but he used to not be very good about it. So I have to call him and judge by his voice because it's pretty easy.
Oh, he can fake text anything.
Oh,
He-
if I call him and it sounds like this, hey, what's up, man? Like, what are you up to? He's good. If he's like, hey, man, what are you up to? What's going on?
Get that growl
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, he's had a few drinks. So I call him at noon. I'm like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Let's watch the Celtics game. He's a Celtics fan. Let's watch the Celtics game together. Since the Nuggets are out, I might as well enjoy somebody else's pleasure and let's watch your team. And so he's like, yeah, let's go watch the game tonight, whatever, you know. So I was like, yeah, I'll call you when I get off work. That was at noon. 4:30 rolls around. This is 3.5 hours later. I call him. I'm like, hey,
too
so yeah, that's giving him a lot of.
That's like 20 whiskeys later.
Yeah. So I call him. I'm like, hey, so we still watching the game tonight? Where do you want to go? Like, let's make a plan. And he's like, yeah, well, comedy's tonight, so let's go watch
He
some
does it
comedy.
Aaron real well.
I can't do. Hey, baby. I'm like, oh shit. God damn it! Please don't try.
Hey man, so you want to watch the comedy tonight?
Oh, and then he tried to get out. So I'm sitting there at the bar doing my crossword, and I was already tipsy. And then Aaron's like, I need to leave. I need to go home. We're like, the show starts in like 40
3
minutes.
times, like 3 or 4 times, he'd be like,
I need to go eat. I'm like, we ordered pizza. Me and Dakota ordered and paid for pizza together.
well, and in the middle of ordering pizza, he's like, I want jalapenos and pineapple, and we're like, pineapple? Get the
He
fuck
hates
out of here.
I'm okay with pineapple.
But
I'm
then he's like,
let's
I don't want
reconsider
anything.
it.
Then I don't want anything. And then so finally, all things go over, and we go to the bar or we go to watch the comedy thing, and he's having a good time. He's laughing. We're all having
We're
fun.
doing great.
And then Sarah orders him a drink, or she asks him if he wants a drink, and he's like, he doesn't say nothing because he's distracted. And so she's like, just get him a Coors Light and I'll have a Jameson on the rocks and we'll share it. And so she passes, the server brings us our drinks, and Aaron's like, "Why, you didn't give me nothing?" And she's like, "Well, we're going to share this." And he just goes, "Nah, I don't want it."
I leave. The first thing he does.
Takes a sip.
Yeah.
Drinks about half of it. And then she's
We
like,
are meant to be. I'm kind of a bitch like that too, though. I'm like, you didn't order me a drink. You're
Yeah.
trying to shit. You stingy motherfucker.
you are both just, you antagonize each other so fucking
we
much.
are.
Like, if one of you is being so sweet to the other, and the other one is being such a bitch to the other one, and then it's vice versa. It
Swaps.
changes.
Yeah.
And every now and
Yeah.
again, you're both very much like in love with each other and all this shit, or it's the opposite, and you both fucking hate each other, and it's just like everybody
We
suffers.
don't hate. We just criticize.
Okay, yeah. hate is a strong word. You're both at
No,
each other's throat.
I love Aaron so much.
Here's another one I got for you. We went to the grandstand. I think you guys broke up 4 times that fucking night, and
was
then
once.
ended up. Oh my god! You were like, "I'm walking home," and he's like, "No, you're not gonna walk home." And then you're like, "No, I'm walking home," and he's like, "Fine, walk home." And then you come back and you're like, "I'm sorry."
I was like, that was so horrible. My shoes were fucked up.
My
No.
anxiety watching the two of you be a couple makes me so fucking happy that I'm single.
Yeah.
I mean, and in reality, and I only say this as, in good fun and whatnot, some of it's true, but you two are fucking almost identical.
Yeah.
Like,
We're too similar, dude.
you thrive on antagonizing
Chaos.
each. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great way to put it.
That's why
Hey,
everyone at the
we've been
Crystal
doing
hangs
good
out
on
at the
not
Crystal.
thriving on chaos.
We all thrive on chaos.
No, we've been doing good on not thriving on chaos. I'm proud of us in that aspect. We're like, you know what? Let's just take a step back and not have another drink for a second.
Well, and that actually makes me think another thing. I'm super stoked that we've kind of all collectively made this like Sunday Fun Day thing where we're going out and doing something that's not like, we are drinking, but it's not just sitting at the bar.
No, and that's the other thing. I'm like, dude, we have to get out. We can't drink. Like,
Well,
like,
we can drink, but we can have.
but let's not close down bars and just only drink to
And
drink.
get fucked up.
Can we
Yeah.
go play pool? Can we go play cards? Can we go like play a
Bowling.
board game or bowl? Yeah, like. I just think we've all been stuck in our own routines, and we've also, like, Aaron's used to being single, I'm used to being single, like, you
Me
are, like,
too.
it's so fucking weird to date somebody after that long, and especially if you have had shitty relationships. I apologize to Aaron, I'm like, dude, it's kind of sad that we're both just used to being treated like shit, so we expect the worst out of each other. I was like, you just kind of have to accept the fact that, like,
We're
not everyone's a horrible, shitty person that's going to take advantage of you.
and that's something that I think Aaron needs to kind of get past.
Oh, no, yeah, both of us do. And I'm like,
'Cause-
dude, like, give me a few minutes. If I'm acting like a dick, give me a few minutes to, like, sort out my thoughts. Like,
And I understand too. Like, yeah, I know all of his trauma. Like, I'm his family. I deal with a lot of the trauma that he's dealt with.
yeah.
But everybody processes that a little differently.
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
I
and
thi-
Aaron is the sweetest fucking dude you'll ever meet. He's such an angel. Like, dude, he cares about everyone, and he acts like his caring is, like, gonna be his downfall. I'm like, no, just, like...
He literally said on this podcast, his greatest fear is success. And in a way, I understand what he meant when he said that. Like, he's afraid that he'll become successful and fail at it. Because I kind of get that in some ways. But you gotta move past that, because you've seen so many people fail, or you've seen the worst in people, and you've experienced the worst in people. But you have to, like, not let that drag you down.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a good way to
Don't
be.
even, like, strive for success, strive for happiness, dude.
Right.
Like, even if you're happy at what you're doing, like, fuck it. Like,
Agreed.
have fun and just appreciate what you have and notice what you have. Like, it's so hard after you've gone through, like,
It
a
is.
lot of shit to appreciate things and not, like, think, oh my God, what if this is going on behind the scenes? Or, like, what if this is all like fake, and what if I'm like seeing something that's like it's hard. It is really hard when you're a victim of trauma. But like, dude, fuck, like all the traumatic people take it all on all of them. They're like we take it out on each other. We're like, I don't trust you. It's like, oh, well, I don't trust you either, bitch. Like,
I think that just naturally happens.
Yeah. But, dude,
like, but we're all still friends and family, and we all, it all goes by the wayside at some point, you know? Yeah. You deal with your shit, and then the
best you can do is expect the best. And if you do your best and you expect the best and someone fucks you over, that's not your fault. Like, you have to believe the best in people, and it sucks, and it's a huge, leap of faith, like, but...
Well, you gotta keep hope.
Yeah.
You know? And that's...
You can't just give up.
Yeah, exactly. But, again, for me personally, I'm stoked that, because you guys are the ones that started this with the whole Sunday Funday thing, where it's like, let's do something different. Let's have one day where we go out and do something different. We all just have fun doing something else. Maybe we try axe throwing one day. Maybe we try an escape room or something shit. Like, there's not an
axe in my hand.
There's not a shit ton to do in this town. There's not a shit ton to do in this town, but somehow we find it. And whether it's playing card game, that was a great time the other night.
Oh, yeah. Or a podcast on a random Sunday afternoon.
Exactly. And so
that's been got here.
That's been a nice change of pace.
It was a Tacoma.
For me personally, it's been a nice change of pace.
Oh no, just one day, like switch up your routine.
Yeah. And I think that's something that everybody can probably just put into their lives. Like if you're stuck in a rut, just do something different. One day a week. Just go out of your way and do something different, and it'll put you in a different frame of mind through the week. And I feel like it's done that for me with us doing this. So I do appreciate that, and I like that we've done that. Mm-hmm. And I think we should continue to do that.
No, it's just fun. It's like way more like bonding friendship shit than just getting wasted and shit. And that's where like all this shit with like Aaron went was just like, we get fucked up. Like, we're not doing anything fun. We're just sitting there and, like, somehow we get fucked up and start arguing.
It's Groundhog's Day.
It's stupid. Like, we're not even arguing about anything at all. Like, this is so dumb. We're just fucking drunk. Like, how about we go bowling? And we have friendly competition. Or, like, let's go play pool. And with Scratch over here.
Hey, we won. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron made, like, 5 of their balls.
It doesn't matter. Wins winning.
Wins win. Wins win.
I'm going to carry this microphone in the bathroom because I have to pee.
Go pee. Go pee. We will carry the show here. Okay, go ahead and you got to go too?
Hurry up, woman.
Do you got to go to the bathroom too?
Bitch.
Yeah, well, I'm going to wait on her.
We'll take a break. We'll take a quick break.
Howdy.
All right. We are back, fully replenished on beers and fully emptied in bladder. So let's finish this thing out. We were dishing on everybody at the Crystal. Rather than me choose somebody, let's go dealer's choice.
Walter. I have to go back to
You got another Walter one? Okay.
Walter is uncircumcised. He was born in the 90s.
Why do you know that?
Okay. Yeah, I'm throwing it out there. So, years ago.
You have to explain why you know this.
Yes, years ago. I never saw it in real life. Never someone else did. Yeah, it's a weird story. So, years ago, Trevor, hi, if you see this, Trevor lived with Walter, and Trevor went on a trip.
Is this Trevor that used to be the door guy?
Yes. So, Trevor lived with Walter, and Trevor went on a trip. Well, he comes back, and Walter thought it would be fucking hilarious to, A, take a Polaroid picture of his dick, put it in the middle of his bed, but also cover the bed in a heart of shooters and cover them everywhere in his room.
This is kind of funny.
Yeah. So, Trevor gets back from this trip. He's exhausted. And he's like, "Ah, you're funny." And he sits down and plays video games. He's like, "I'm not dealing with this right now." Well, he clears off the bed and finds this Polaroid of Walter's dick. And so, I don't know what Walter thought would happen. Like, he wouldn't show anyone. But, yeah, I saw the Polaroid. To Mr. and Mrs. Walter's parents, thanks for
good job.
Not circumcising him, I guess, because Walter's still pissed that it was in the 90s and would have cost about like $100.
Is Walter Jewish?
No, he's not, but
Not
his
anymore.
brothers are. No.
He's not accepted in the tribe.
Walter's brothers are brothers. I think there's more than one. Are circumcised.
And they're just like, nah, no more.
No, they
It's like, eh.
they didn't want to spend like $100 to like
I mean,
snip it.
$100 in the 90s is a lot more than $100 now.
They say circumcision actually can inhibit growth.
I mean, not according to the picture I saw. Walter, good on ya. Like, just what everyone knows.
Well-endowed Walter.
Walter Albert Coronetti has a giant dick, and that's the only reason he scored Morgan Gray. And I swear to God, I will take her from you. I will take her in the middle of the night, and she will be so happy.
His new nickname is Well-endowed Walter.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
That's it?
That's my story.
That's your story?
That's my story. This is Sara Stewart, and this has been Drunk Hair Story.
Dealer's choice.
Oh, man. So, I've got two with Lacey.
Okay.
Sorry, don't hate me. I'm sure she's going to lecture me about this later. The first one, she wasn't really drunk. It was the rest of us. But it was funny as shit. Because we all started out in the parking lot. And all of a sudden, we see a whole bunch of cops drive by. And I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we followed them, see where the hell they're going? So we all hop in the car, blasting Paint the Town Red. And so we follow these cops, and we pull over at Albertson's parking lot, and there's a shitload of cops. There's this guy on the ground, and someone in the back seat, and all these out there, like, they're beating the shit out of that guy. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's CPR. And it was some dude that got hit by.
Oh, shit. I remember that.
We were just like sitting there watching these people give this dude CPR.
Resuscitate
Yeah. And Lacey was like, are you sure they're not beating the shit out of that guy? I was like, no, that's CPR.
She thought they were like...
Yeah. It kind of looks that way. And then the other one was just her drunk lecturing me on how I need to stop hitting on girls that work at the Crystal, which is fair. But she went into full, like, mom mode.
She is the mom of...
Oh, and she is.
Oh, dude,
I love her to
Lacey.
death. Yeah.
She's giving me great advice.
Oh, yeah. No, it was great. Great advice.
But also,
Yeah.
like, advice I know myself. Like, Sarah, you drink too much. What?
What?
No, me?
What do you mean? I don't know what
Never.
you're talking about.
Double.
What are you talking about?
Me, never.
She's giving me the freaking mom lectures about certain things, too.
Yeah.
So
That's how you know she cares about you. Like, when you're, like, accepted in is when she goes into mom mode.
unless she breaks
Yeah.
your leg like Aaron. or whatever she did. What'd she do? Break his...
She like tripped him and like tackled him at the same
Yeah.
time. It was actually really impressive.
Was it his
like,
arm or his leg? What?
Leg.
Leg.
Knee. His knee is
Oh,
fucked for life.
it messed up his knee.
Yeah. Yeah, because he came over to my house. It was 4th of July. She did, like, they were at the faux. And he came over and he walks in. And he walked in kind of like limpy, but seemed fine. Next morning, he's leaving and he couldn't stand on it. And he left his car downtown, obviously, because he was wasted. And he's like, oh, no. Thank God, Tara and Kelsey, shout out, for giving him a ride. Thanks. Appreciate that. And then he had to go to the hospital that day for it.
You just gave me a completely different thought. So instead of, how about this? Give me a story about a customer. You can leave them unnamed. Let's just call them John Doe, or Jane Doe. Give me a great story about. I mean, come on, and I actually ask this of most people who work in service. You gotta have some crazy stories about.
You have to give me a genre. There's too many.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as a door guy, there's got to be plenty of like fighting stories or people trying to break shit or
probably one of the weirdest ones was the two people that were damn near trying to fuck at the end of the bar. I don't know if you were working that night. Might have been a Wednesday or something.
I mean, that sounds.
But yeah, like as I'm dragging the guy out, he still has his hands up this girl's skirt. And although the funniest one was kicked out a couple cowboys. One of them was older than shit. And I guess they had to wait for their wife or something like that. But he was holding the door open. I walked up to the edge of the door and I was like, hey, man, close my door. He looks at me, what? I was like, close my damn door. And I swear it was every ounce of power he had tried to slam that door in my face. It's got one of the hydraulic things on the top, and he gave it hell and just slugged it. It just, and I was just standing there like this, just looking around. I was like, man, does anyone else see this shit?
I love it. No, I think I was there for that one. So the most recent-ish thing I can think of, and so there's these 3 guys. They're sitting at the end of the bar. One of them's in front of a staircase, and they seem nice. And then the guy in front of the staircase was like, "Oh, I see you got tattoos," and I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You got a tramp stamp?" And I'm like, "Well, that's inappropriate." Like, I was like, "Nope." And he was like, "Oh, but no, girls' hair are too young to get tattooed." But
you gotta have a parent's permission.
yeah. But he was like, "Oh yeah, you got a tramp stamp." I'm like, "Nope." And he was like, "Well, got a tattoo on your ass?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Prove it, lift up your skirt." And I'm like, that's mighty bold for someone sitting right in front of a staircase. Like,
yeah.
Just throwing it out there. So I'm like, whatever. Aaron was at a different bar. I made the mistake of texting him and being like, "There's these creepy guys at the end of the bar." He's like, "I'm there," but like he didn't show up for like another half an hour, 45 minutes. Well, they're outside. The other dude got kicked out of the poker room. Yeah, he's like, "I'll be there in 5." Like 2 hours later. I don't know what the fuck that was. Not SpongeBob accent.
2 hours later.
Thank you. But he shows up and we're smoking outside on my break, and they're sitting there, and Aaron's just like, "Oh, you know, you should learn how to treat a lady, like, or talk to a lady or whatever." And I'm like, "Guys, not now. Like, it's my cigarette break. Like, please, like, not now. Like, just let it go. It's fine. Whatever. He's a piece of shit." And the dude that I thought was the nicest one just starts getting aggressive. And so, yeah, they just start going at, like, getting aggressive towards each other. And out of nowhere, the dude bum rushes Aaron on my feet, like, tackles him on top of my feet. And I'm like, the fuck? Well, I had my fucking iPhone in my hand with an OtterBox. Shout out to OtterBox also, because I beat the fuck out of this dude's head with this OtterBox trying to get him off me and off Aaron.
Didn't break.
Didn't. I have a fully intact iPhone.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Yep. And so Aaron kangaroo kicks him, like, off of him. It, like, happened so quick. And this dude, like, 20s flew out of his pocket. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. I was like, well, Walter comes out at this point because he saw, well, oh, sorry, I missed this point. I start, like, in the middle of it, the dude punches me in the face. Yeah, it was great. And this is a big, like, I'd say at least 250, like, 6 foot tall dude from Alaska. Shout out to the dude from Alaska. But so, Walter comes out and is like, "You better not leave, like, or there's gonna be people chasing after you and all this shit." So, it was Derek when he was with Zach, Aaron, Nick Fishbaugh, and Travis, our old door guy. And so I get punched in the face. They're all chasing after this dude. So it's me and Morgan left in the bar with, like, pretty much half full bar plus the casino side. And I'm on the phone with the cops, and I'm just like, like, and everyone's like, "Are you okay? So what happened?" I'm like, "Yeah, he hit like a bitch. It's fine. It's just, like, unexpected." Like, and I'm on the phone with the cops, and they're like, "What do these dudes look like?" And I'm like, "Well, they look like tall, beardy dudes from fucking Alaska, like half the population of Montana, too." I'm like, "But I can give you a description of the men that are chasing after him. We have a tall ginger that's 6'7", a shorter ginger. We have a gay guy with a backwards cap, and a septum piercing. We have a Native American bouncer with blue eyes. That's very rare. Walter is about the sweetest guy you'll ever meet." And
driving down the road, it's like, that looks like the sweetest guy I'll ever meet.
Dude, these guys were hiding behind cars from these guys. The only reason they didn't get charges pressed on them or let go was because Aaron hit him back. And they were like, "Oh, well, it's assault on both sides." I'm like, that's self-defense, bitch. Like, whatever.
All right, I got
Grade A
one.
cop work.
I got one. So it was me, Aaron. You were working. It was me, Aaron, Kayla, and Mitch. We were at the Monty, and we were coming back to the Crystal. And some dude was, like, talking shit to Chris outside. And Kayla, being...
Kayla.
Yeah. She was, like, barking at the dude, like, hey, don't talk to him like that.
She will do that.
And the dude runs over, gets in his car, and he drives up on the corner and starts talking shit again. Me, Aaron, Mitch, and Chris just start chasing this motherfucker down the street, and he just speeds off. And I was like, that's the most recent time I don't get aggressive if it's a fight night or if I'm fairly drunk and Aaron's razzing me up and I'm like, okay, let's go. That's the only time I'm like kind of ready to throw down, and that was one of those nights.
Yeah, Kayla, and also Kayla will defend everyone else by herself. She is the sweetheart as far as that goes. Aaron is Batman. He defends the night, and no matter what happens, he will be out there, and he will be like...
There's times Aaron will be sitting at a table, and Aaron's like, I don't like the way this guy's looking at me. I'm like, bro, just...
The TV is right behind you, bro.
Calm down. Like, maybe he is, but... He hasn't done nothing yet. Let's just, if something happens, like, but I will say this in his defense. As much as I give him shit for, like, doing shit like that where it's like, this guy's up to no good, he does have a fairly keen eye for shit like that.
Oh, no.
Because there's been times he's like, this guy's up to no good. And then an hour later, shit starts rolling, and the guy he said... is in fact causing problems.
No, it's bartender vision. And they get 100% like I'm like, that guy's gonna be an issue. And like, sure as shit, a couple hours later. But you can tell when Aaron's drunk. Love you. Because he will defend other people first. Like when he's tipsy, he's gonna be like, I don't like the way they're treating my friends, or I don't like the way they're acting towards other people. The moment he's like, he's looking at me funny. You're like,
okay.
Time to go.
Like, he looks for fights where there doesn't need to be a fight yet. And maybe there should be, but it's not quite to that level yet.
I've gotten him past that point, I think, a little bit. I haven't seen him start a fight in a while.
I'll say something else about you, though. I have also seen you get him riled up, where it's like, that motherfucker is no good. And then... you'll be like, get him. You're basically...
I don't say get him. I said, I'm going to get
him. In fewer words, you're basically like, Aaron, go fucking beat that dude's ass.
I never, ever have...
Now we know.
I said,
I believe it.
In fewer words.
I go after the people that I want to go. I am a Batman, too.
But if you go after him, you know he's coming right there.
Exactly. Let's be fair. You're doing it because you know homie's gonna fucking...
Oh, no! You've never met me before.
I'm not saying you wouldn't, but you also know. I've seen you kind of get, like, the shit riled up. Like,
actually, Eric steps back now because he's like, oh my god, like...
Where there's a few fellas around...
He's like, is this what I'm like when I'm being this way? And I'm like...
I've seen dudes...
I'm gonna fucking kill that guy.
I've seen dudes getting thrown out. Like, people getting thrown out. And there's, like, the bouncer and Chris and Aaron.
I'm never there!
But you're like, yeah, get the fuck out of here, you dumb piece of shit. You're a fucking fat piece of shit. And
I never said... I used to be a fat kid. I used to stay away from
I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
But you're like, yeah, get out of here, you fucking idiot. Like,
that's my my right as
she's
a
the
bartender
when I didn't say I didn't like it. I enjoy it.
Thanks.
I very much enjoy it.
It's not for Aaron, though. Aaron shouldn't even be there in the first place. Sit down, drink your beer. I'm working. You're not.
But I do love that when people are getting kicked out and, like, you know, basically you don't have to handle it. You're still, like, firing the guy. You're like, yeah.
Oh, I do it when I still kick him out.
Oh, I know.
Well, most of the time you have to do it because there was a few door guys that wouldn't do shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And don't pay attention to shit.
Or take, like, 20 minutes to get one guy out. I'm like,
yeah, they'll
get
sit
the
there and
fuck
talk
out of
to
here.
him
No one wants you in here.
and, like,
no one cares what you
conversate.
think.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares. Like, do I have to call the cops? Are you that fucking stupid? Like, I will go up. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah, because they just want to have a conversation with the guy. Just, dude, get him the fuck out.
Dude, you're not going to become, what, are you going to become Facebook friends after this?
Yeah.
Are you getting his fucking, like, email? What are you doing that's taking you so long?
Yeah. Yeah, I just find I find it fun and funny. I'm just sitting at the bar like, I'm just a spectator
This is a
eating
good time.
pop,
Did I ever tell you about
literally
New Year's
eating
Eve last
popcorn.
year? New Year's Eve last year. Okay, obviously roughest night for a bartender, except for maybe St. Patty's.
What? Say it again.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and so we're sitting there, and we did plastics because there's so many fucking people in the bar, and we do a midnight champagne toast, all this shit, and I'm like, oh my god. So this guy comes up, and we cut off these like 50-year-old women that were wasted, and they had a half bottle of wine, and we're like, it's open container if you take it out of the bar at this point, like you could put it in the back seat or whatever, but like out of reach, but. They were so drunk. They didn't know what the fuck we were saying. We're like, oh my god, please don't take this out of the bar. And they gave it to these two kids that just walked in. Not kids, but they're like 21. But I'm like, okay. So the kids come up and they're like, can we get 2 plastic cups? I thought they were going to take it with them, like out the door. And I'm like, no. I'm like, sorry, we don't give out plastic. They're like, everyone here has plastic. I'm like, oh, that was until midnight. Like, I'm just like, and they're like, well, like, I just, like, and the guy just starts going after me, and I'm like, you have to buy something to get, like, he's like, can I take glass? I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna give you plastic, so I'll definitely give it, like, bar glasses, that makes way more sense, and, so, finally, he's like, fine, I'll just take 2 shots of Pendleton, and my dick persona kicked in, and I was like, I'm gonna give it to him in plastic. So I give him solo, like, shot glasses with Pendleton in it. And I'm like, here you go. And he's like, was that so fucking hard?
You're like, it's...
I completely blew my lid. It was like 1:15 on, like, after New Year's Eve. And I was like, I don't know if you fucking noticed, but you're in a bar on New Year's Eve. We've been through a lot of shit tonight, and I'm not, like, and I just started screaming at Chris and Rosie. I'm like, he's done. He's fucking done. Nothing more for this guy. Like, it was a scene, and I was just like, obviously I felt bad. Like,
see, that's why I can't do that shit. That's why I stay away from people's foods. I don't do bartending.
No.
Door guy's fine. I would straight
up
up dump a tray of drinks on someone just because they looked at me funny.
I walked away from Chris. I was like, he owes $10. Take his money.
Thriving in chaos.
He gave $20 to Chris, and he's like, I need you to make sure she gets the change. So he did me 10 on 10.
I don't know if you can work at the Crystal and not live in chaos.
Yeah, no.
That's why we're all there.
He gave me
You get
10
to
on
see
10,
some crazy
and
shit.
then I felt like the biggest dick ever because I'm not, like, not human. I was just like, I went over to him, I'm like, I'm sorry, it's been a rough night. Like, now you made me feel like an asshole. And he's like, yeah, you made me feel like an asshole too. I'm like, cool, truce. And
Good, you were an asshole.
Like, yeah.
Adios,
Dude
motherfucker.
gave me $20 over two rounds of shots. I was like, okay, like sometimes you
We're
snap.
square. We're square.
Yeah. We're good. We're fine. But dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this bad boy up. We've talked a lot about chaos, but let's wrap this thing up with a positive motivational message, which I like to do at the end of my shows. Positive motivational message from the guests to the audience. Who would like to start?
I think you should finish because you'll probably have a better one.
I have a better one? Okay, then you go first.
Okay, think about it for a sec. I don't know either. We're all assholes sometimes, but we don't mean to be. That's the best I can do for right now.
That's
but
good.
You know what? Love and peace, dude. Like, that's way too hippie-ish.
No,
Peace
it's
and
good.
love.
Peace, love, and rock and roll.
Yeah, dude, just have fun and, like, understand where everyone else is coming from.
That is good. That is good. A
Kind of
perspective.
stole mine. I mean, life's about love. Just love everyone. And ladies, don't suck dick for free.
Also, don't go to Bullwhackers. It's
Or
a
that.
shit
Fuck
show.
that place.
So, what are we...
Also, hi, Nate.
Sarah, what are we going to do when we leave here?
So
We're
I
going to
think we're
Bullwhackers.
going to Bullwhackers.
We're going to go stir up some shit.
I don't know. That's kind of incriminating.
Eh.
We're not
We're
going to go to
just going to order
Bullwhackers.
water and grenadine. We don't even need IDs for that, do
Yeah.
we?
We should just leave our
Well,
IDs.
that's
I'm
because
gonna
the
hide my
roofies are
ID.
free.
Yeah. So, to tie this up in a bow, apparently, I'll let you say it. I'm not going to say it. You say it about Bullwhackers.
Oh, Bullwhackers is full of rapists, pedophiles, and enablers of both.
So
Fuck that place.
Avoid the business, boycott Bullwhackers. Also, blow it up on Facebook. Bullwhackers Lounge and Billiard Room, I think is what it's called. Facebook, Billings, Montana.
Start like a whole hashtag, like fuck
Yeah.
Bullwhackers.
Yep. Let's shut this bitch
Do
down.
it.
and don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it.
Just gotta keep on